What's up, everybody? We are back. It's 5-star live stream. Your boy Tez. We're hitting you guys with another stream. It does not stop. The show continues, and we're gonna keep hitting you guys with some good ass information, adding value. We're still out here in Fort Lauderdale, as you know, making a print out here. We're gonna keep bringing it to you guys. We do not stop. So let's fucking get it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, show love so we can keep the show fucking going. And we're going to keep adding as much value as we possibly can. We got Chris on the ones and twos. He's doing the fucking, he was a DJ. Now he's on the soundboard, making sure everything checks out behind the scenes. So he's going to come in just a second, pop up in on us. So yeah, man, it's a good day. Rainy out a little bit, but fuck it. No excuses. We're still here bringing it to you guys live because we are 5-star live stream. So let's fucking get to it. We're going to be talking about today what you need to do before getting in a serious relationship. As you see, Chris is back from behind the scenes. Now he's on the fucking scene. Let's get it, Chris.
Appreciate that, big dog. Thank you for a lit ass intro, man. Nobody could really do it better than my fucking boy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog, you know what I'm saying? Show some love to Dantes in the chat. If you're not showing love to Dantes in the chat, why are you really here, man? That's 1/2 of 5-star, baby. We really make this happen. And you know what, Tez? I think we actually came up with, you actually came up with a beautiful topic to talk about today. And we kind of delineated how we're going to do that. And it's really important that we talk about this because we're going to have our 5-star men and women be more prepared than any other community to be building families, be dating, make cool stuff happen, build wealth in America, and change the world the right way. You know what I mean?
And you actually came up with this topic today. That was that was you. So let's fucking get it. So shout out to fucking Chris. Go support, show love on his channel, Life of Chris. Out here, we out here. Let's get it.
No, I'm saying, and he's not wrong, man. DJ Matchmaker wants to talk about some important things that's gonna help give you guys the skills that you need to help men and women be better at dating. You know what I'm saying? But before we kick that stuff off, man, I need you guys to hit like. I need you guys to hit share. Share with 5 people. I need you to hit subscribe. And I need you to do better by leaving us some comments and telling us what you're doing to improve your dating game for the opposite gender. Now today, like I was saying earlier, me and Tez are actually going to be talking about how men and women can get better in the world of dating. And I'm going to actually be handling the women's portion for today's side of the show. Ladies, your boy, trust me, in the matchmaking field, I know what you ladies need to do to improve your game and do better. And I got some tips for you, Dantes, man. What do you think ladies need to do to improve before we talk about the broskies? Or do you think that they need to improve at all?
Yeah, I mean, no, they're perfect. They're sugar and spice and everything nice. They don't need to, ladies, you are good as you are. You don't need to improve. You just have to wake up, be beautiful, and the world is your oyster. Everything will come to you. But y'all
got roasted, bro. Y'all got roasted.
Shout out to the ladies out there adding value and shit. But yeah, let's hop right into it. Fuck it, here. I'll let you hit it off with the ladies, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, okay, so let me explain the context of the purpose of why me and Dantes are breaking down the show like this, right? You see, if you are not understanding where we're coming from, if you're atheistic in your belief system, I'm sorry, man, this might not actually be for you, but we're going to break down why it's important for me to give you advice on women, or me to give advice for women to women. Because if you read back to the oldest times, God gave man dominion over the earth. That means it's up to us as men to give you ladies the best, most proper, most pure, most well-intended advice for you to be successful. If your father didn't do it, if your brother didn't do it, if your uncle didn't do it, 5-star is here to give it to you now. You know, so one of the first things that I'm going to talk about here in a moment is topic number 1 of the day. I'm going to start that off with purity and why purity is important. And why purity is something that, as you know, DJ Matchmaker has found out through all my journeys and travels, something that men favor so much so that you have to have it in order to get the commitment that you want and you're looking for. So listen, you might be a girl who is not too pure right now, right? You might have bodies on bodies on bodies, and you're going to have to do something to offset that, and I'll get to that portion too. But hopefully this video is going to reach a younger girl who's super pure and she's just coming up in life right now and she's might be being pressured into, let's say, listening to her friends, and her friends are giving her bad advice, and her friends are saying, oh, you need to be a slut like us. You need to be a hoe like us. You need to do these vile acts like us. It's okay. It's your body. You need to lose your virginity now. You need to do this now. And I'm telling you, don't listen to those women. If you are in high schools, I've been around those people when I was in high school. Don't listen to them. They're not doing well in life now. If you're in college and you're suffering from this, don't listen to them. I was around those people when I was in college, and they're not doing well in life now. The people who stay true, who stay pure, and who really commit to the effort of making themselves attractive to the other gender is the person that succeeds and gets the most out of life. Before I go on to that, I'm going to let my dog Dantes here kind of open up the show a little bit before we get into our bullet points. As I said, I'm going to start off with purity, and I gave you why. But, Dantes, what do you think men need to do better to get better in the world of dating?
Yeah, first I want to touch on purity for women. That's the most important thing as a woman, is to have purity. Think about the less pure you are as a woman, it's like you're chipping away your soul. Like, the more sex you're having, the more you're being liberated by creating an OnlyFans account or having crazy ass half naked pictures online. You're just chipping away at your soul, and it's gonna, deep down, long term, you're not gonna get any fulfillment out of it. So I know everyone's gonna tell you, be yourself, do whatever the fuck that you want to do. But if you're looking for a guy who's gonna take you serious, who's actually gonna treat you the way that you want to be treated, they're not gonna want someone who's not pure, who hasn't been fucked by everybody. So yeah, that is a double standard that people don't like. Men can go fuck whoever they want, have hundreds of women, and ladies, that makes us look good, that hurts you guys. So if you're pure, you have a better chance of getting the man that you actually want. Because the less pure you are, then you're going to have to lower your standards. Because the guys that don't give a fuck about your purity, those are the guys who are just half men, half simps. They act like bitches. So unless you want those guys, be as pure as you possibly can. I know I'm not going to fucking save you. If you're a hoe out there, it is what it is. Go be a fucking hoe. But I'm just going to put this advice out there in the, as my boy Chris would say, the ether. And whoever gravitates towards it, and hopefully it helps. But ladies, be as pure as possible and always have that feminine energy. And the pure you are, a lot of times, that feminine energy goes hand in hand with it. So just be pure, have feminine energy. That's a strength and advantage that you have. I know society's telling you you can be a man, a career woman, be an alpha female, but then that's just taking away your feminine energy that makes you the most powerful that you can be. So I wanted to touch on that. So now for the men out there, for you bitch ass niggas, number one for you guys, because that's out of love. I fucking love you. But number one for you guys is, be stable. Have some stability in your life before you start committing to women. Before you get in a relationship, be stable. Have your own crib. Have your own car. Don't be in your fucking mom's basement having a girlfriend. Why? Why can't I have a girl? Why can't I just love a girl while I'm in my mom's basement? Because when you're dealing with a woman, she requires an investment. She's going to require an experience. You to take her on dates, take her on trips, do things, and that's money. So then you're just getting further and further behind, and you don't have any room to be getting further behind because you're already at a low point. You don't have any stability for yourself. So how are you going to take care of a woman when you can't even take care of yourself? So first, get a job that gives you the opportunity to pay for all your bills, and you have a little bit extra left over before taking a woman seriously. Because if you don't have that, you're always going to be behind the 8 ball and getting further and further behind. Chris, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so for the men, right? And I'm glad, now we're going to move on to the actual show here. Thanks for opening it up, Dantes. I got a chance to talk about, we were talking already about our bullet points, like stability and purity. I'm going to touch back on purity and give you guys the full spectrum as to why that's important for you ladies. But for the men out here, man, I literally built an entire revenue-based machine to help dudes get better at making money, in order to have the stability, in order to have a relationship. Because when I was doing Matchmaker, it would be a combination of either the guy is like a doctor and he's well off and he's ready to go and he didn't have the time and now he needs a matchmaker to find the woman. But for the majority of you dudes, you didn't even want to date girls or do anything because you felt like you didn't have the money when it came down to the truth. When it came down to the pure honesty of it, you didn't believe that you were ready, and I'm going to tell you why you weren't ready. Society lied to you. You should have been working on your stability from out the womb, from the beginning. Again, inheritance is a Christian tenement. Inheritance is supposed to be something that's passed on from generation to generation to generation to generation. But guess what? Most of you don't even know about 3 or 4 generations back. Most of you don't know your great-grandpa, great-great-grandpa, great-great-great-grandpa, because society is very disconnected. But that means that you men are left at a disadvantage. That means that you're starting from the very beginning every single time, just like how the government or the powers that be want you to be. So what you have to do out the womb, out the gate, from the very beginning, is start working on your stability and your income. And when you work on your stability and your income, you're not working on your stability and your income to give money to the woman. You're not working on your stability or income to give time to the woman. You're working on your stability and income to decide what woman can give her time to you. But you have to be worth the investment to begin with. You know what I'm saying, Tez?
1000%. And that doesn't mean you can't be fucking girls out here getting experiences. But as far as taking one serious long term, if you don't have that stability, forget about it. Because like I said, you're going to get further and further behind, and she's going to see like this guy, how can I depend on this guy when he can't even take care of himself, and it's not going to last. And you're going to be wasting time and energy and resources when you don't have that privilege to do that because you're not stable yourself. So get some stability first, get a consistent job, get a house or a crib, apartment, have a car, be able to take care of yourself, and then worry about a girl later on.
Facts.
First, get your priorities straight.
Yes, sir. So, all right, now that you got to hear us out, and Tez, if you want to touch on stability again, please go for it. I'm going to give you guys the full breakdown on why purity is so important, and I'm going to give you the entire history lesson on why men favor purity. So if you're a girl and you want to get this diamond ring, if you want a ring on your finger, if you want to walk around and show off that rock, I'm giving you the advice on how to get that rock from a man, because let me tell you something, ladies. Men are the romantic gender. Women are not the romantic gender. And men want to give you those diamond rings. They want to love you. They want to show you everything that you ever wanted. They want to give you the world. But you have to be worthy of receiving that. And if you're not worthy of receiving that, here's men telling you exactly how to get that done. All right, let's rewind the clock and go back to virginity, right? Virginity is something that only, and here's a big take, right? Virginity is something that only applies to women and it does not apply to men. Let me explain what that means, right? If you are a man and you have not had sex, you just have an unused penis. That's the truth. There is no such thing as virginity as it pertains to men. If you have not had sex yet, as a guy, you are just some guy that hasn't had sex yet. Not a virgin. Just useless. Virginity in all languages, in all definitions, in all of the Bible, in all of the dictionaries that you could think of, only applies to the woman because the woman's sanctity is pure. When a woman is born, she is literally born with a hymen. Shout out to t-shirts I had made before for my guys, you know what I'm saying? No hymen, no diamond. Based on some stuff I had heard before, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys, you know who you are. No hymen, no diamond, right? Men really, really, really prefer that the woman has fulfilled the covenant of being for him, being sanctified for him, being pure for him. And if you don't preserve that value, you're literally born with an anatomical device in your vagina as a girl that literally showcases whether or not you are a virgin or have had sex before, because it matters how much you've had sex. Why does it matter how much you've had sex? Dantes was just touching on it. When you are a woman, purity matters because if you have had sex with multiple men, you are splitting up your soul with multiple partners. And a man, deep down in his core, and ladies, you need to listen to this, a man deep down in his core, once your purity has been split, cannot fulfill the full journey of an actual committed relationship with you to the grave. He cannot go all the way. So let's talk about what that looks like in real life today, in the modern day in 2025, ladies. You might have had a boyfriend, but I guarantee you only had about 5 to 7 years of him. And then it resets. And then he can't do it no more. Because in the truth of truths, that man, deep down, once he knows that you've had sex with another man, you ladies, he'll literally think to himself, I I have a problem with this. I can't commit to the rock. I can't commit to getting the diamond. I can't commit to giving her any more. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted. But I can't give her the commitment that she's looking for because she gave herself to other men. That's why you ladies aren't getting married. That is the biggest, most ridiculously talked about thing amongst men. Trust your boy, DJ Matchmaker, has talked to all the men about why they are or are not in relationships. And purity and sanctification is one of the biggest ones, man. Tez, give me a recap, bruv.
Yeah, so that was on point. So one thing for the guys that have been in this space, you've heard this before, so I'm going to break it down for you again. Ladies, purity is important because if you're fucking several guys at once, how the fuck is the guy going to know who the father is? If 3 guys nut in you in 10 days, no one knows who the father is. No one knows who the father is. Back in the day, there was no birth control. There was none of that shit. So we're hardwired to be mad and upset when you are a hoe because we want to raise a kid that's ours. We don't want to put all of our resources in a kid and find out it's not ours. That's how guys commit suicide and do dumb shit because the girl wanted to be a hoe or just didn't want to be honest about who the father was. She just wanted a guy to take his resources and take care of the kid and didn't give a fuck whether or not the kid knew who his father was. So that's what it comes down to. When you say, oh, there's birth control now, I can have an abortion. This was not a thing 100 years ago. So this is very recent. So we're still hardwired to be upset about a girl being a hoe because we want to take care of our kid. That's the bottom line of it. So ladies, you were not made to be a hoe because of that reason. So keep that in mind.
Purity is a big one. So purity is a big one. So we're gonna touch on that. And if you have any questions on purity or what you could do about purity or how to stay pure, we'll be able to help you. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. Now, for my ladies that are getting this information late, if you have a body, like for me, like every man has a different tolerance. I'm just gonna give you the tolerance for DJ Matchmaker on commitment when it comes to the great old commitment of marriage. If you have more than one body, it'll never happen. I will never do it. You'll never get a ceremony from me. Because my tolerance level is that if you have more than one body, it bothers me, and you have too many because I'm so fucking secure, I could tell you it bothers me, and I'll tell it to you in your face immediately upon you meeting me. I'll say it before you meet me. I will say it before you stand in front of me and then go spit game at you, and we'll still have a good time. Now, if you understand that men don't like, or men have different tolerances, you might find a guy who's like cool with like, maybe she has like 5 bodies, 10 bodies is where it starts to get crazy. Then you start accepting men that have like lower and lower standards, and then it's probably not the guy that you like. But my greatest advice to you women is that if you are above your body count that you should be at because you got lied to by feminist propaganda, or you got lied to by your friends, or you got lied to and you thought you could just have like recreational sex as if you were a man and you are not a man, I would highly recommend that you change your nature as much as you possibly can to showcase and go back into selling purity, and never, ever, ever let this man know your true body count until you die. But as you listen to this rest of this show here, as you listen to the rest of the podcast, I'm going to give you the structure and tenements that you need to come into the mindset that you're foregoing your past life and emphasis on your past life. You have to forego it so hard that the man has to be so like spellbound by your beauty, so spellbound, so enthralled with who you are as a person because you've changed into this very dateable, very feminine, very relationship-seeking, very of-service human being, very, very much offsetting what you've done before in order to help him out. And then, I'm going to just throw this in there. This is going to be something I'll talk about in the bonus round. If you are not a virgin anymore and you have body counts, the only way to offset that for a man is to come as a package deal. You needed to bring another woman into the mix because you cheated on him before you even got in the relationship, and the only thing that'll offset that is another woman. We'll talk about that later. What do you think about what I'm saying, Dantes?
Yeah, that's a good. That you said if she's not a virgin, she has to come with 2 women.
Yeah. Package deal.
Hey, fuck it. Hey, that's how important purity is to a lot. That's how important it is. That's what it comes down to. And something I want to mention that you touched on is, if you are a hoe and you're not pure, find some friends that are not hoes, that are pure, that are married. That way you start adopting the traits that they have, because men find them attractive. Anytime a girl's not a hoe, she's automatically attractive in some sense. Even if she's not physically attractive, being around a girl who has tendencies that show that she's pure and she's not a hoe, it's attractive. So if you're a girl who's a hoe, 9 times out of 10, your friends are hoes. So let's go ahead and find a new friend group, get around girls who are married, who have tendencies that show they're good girls. That way you start to pick those up, and then you can start to change, and that way you find the best guy that you can possibly get. So being a hoe, 9 times out of 10, you're always going to display certain characteristics that show that you've been a hoe. But let's try to bring it down, mitigate it as much as possible by surrounding yourself with girls who are not hoes. So that's it.
100%, bro. So yeah, that'll be for the bonus round. For you ladies that understand that men are going to want a package deal from you as the only way to offset your past behavior for you to get commitment out of that man, we're going to talk about it. The next thing that we're going to talk about did you want...
I'm going to hit the guys, and then we'll hit the guys, and we'll go back and forth. So the next thing for guys, for you bitches again, you bitch-ass niggas, know what you want out of a female.
Yes.
It's like, no shit, know what I want. What do I mean by that? What are you saying, Tez? Know exactly the characteristics in a woman that you are looking for. Because if you don't, the moment you get sex from a girl who's attractive or hot and she has good nani, as they would say out there in the UK, or good pussy, you're gonna wanna commit to her simply because you don't know what you want. So find out what you want. Like, whether she's feminine, submissive, she falls under your leadership. So be able to look at her and know, okay, she behaves this way. I like this about her. Now I'm going to give her a relationship. A lot of guys don't even know what they want. They just end up getting an attractive girl by luck, and then they commit to her because she's attractive and she has good pussy. So that's not enough. So identify, sit down by yourself, watch our podcast, our live streams, go watch whoever you want to watch, and find out what you want. That way, your relationship, when you do get in one, it'll actually last.
100%, bruv. And that is really what it comes down to. If you're not in a relationship that's going to last, you don't know what you want because you were not listening to Tez. Now, let me tell you something about Tez. Tez has thousands and thousands and thousands of man hours in dating. So because he's done that and built up that skill, similar to myself, you know what I'm saying? We're some real 5-star guys out here. He can literally identify the traits in the women that he will give his time to or not. Knowing what you want is everything. Imagine going shopping at like the supermarket, but you don't know what you want because you didn't write a list, and you just end up, because you didn't write the list, spending hours going up and down the aisles, having no idea if you like pasta or meat or a salad. Stupid, right? So if you don't understand the kind of woman that you're looking for, you are effectively wasting your time. And if you have the time to waste your time, you probably shouldn't be dating in the first place. And if you have the time to waste your time, me and Tez aren't really going to consider you a man to begin with.
1,000%. And I want to go off that analogy you gave, because it's a great analogy. It's like going to the store, not knowing what you want, haven't tried anything, and that's what we're going to touch on later is experience, having experience. But that's like going to the store, you don't know what you want. First thing you do, you like what you see. You see the hot girl. You see that good looking, the food that looks good. You go pay for it. Now you spent your money, you spent your time, and then you go bite into that food and it tastes like shit. So you've already wasted your resources and your time, but you didn't know what the fuck you wanted, so you just went in there blindly and you bought some shit that you didn't really even end up liking. That's a lot of these dudes. They end up giving out the commitment to a girl who's not worth it because she's hot. Then they find out 6 months later the girl's a bitch and she doesn't deserve their time or resources. And then it's like, fuck, I just invested all this money and all this time for nothing because she just showed me that she's not worth it and she doesn't actually respect me. Which, if she doesn't respect you, that's your fault, but we'll get into that later. But you got to know what you want, because if not, you're just headed for a fucking disaster.
You are headed for a disaster. Let me contrast myself with the great President Donald Trump, man. So, very much like myself and him, I like beautiful ladies, and I have quite the history in dating models, you know what I'm saying? I really do be liking the most beautiful girls. But just because they're beautiful doesn't mean anything. In fact, women are born with beauty. It's called female beauty. There's entire industries built off women's beauty. When Donald Trump was dating, who would inevitably be known as Melania Trump, the one differentiator between that girl, Melania Trump, and all the other beautiful models was that when he would invite her over to his house and she would sleep in his bed, she would immediately, with all her hotness and all her beauty, have the habit of making the bed. And that one deciding differentiating factor right there was like, yep, you can't train them to do it. They have it or they don't. And because she had that one trait, Trump was like, hey man, I'm taking this one to the bank. This is my baby girl. You know what I mean? If you don't have the fortitude, the skill set, the knowledge of how to get out there and select the kind of woman that's going to have the best traits for you to date, guess what? Me and Dantes here are going to hit you on a future episode to help you identify the best traits in women to select for dating. And women, as I've said before, you listen to this show, we are giving you the best advice for you ladies to get in a relationship. No other podcast is doing that from the men's perspective. I've talked to all of them. I've been on a lot of them. I've talked to these people enough to know that they're not even willing to help the women from the men's perspective. They're just willing to criticize you and call you out and say why they don't like you. But I'm giving you the game. If you listen to me, I'll get you far.
Oh yeah, so good shit. And now let's hit him with for the ladies. What you got for the ladies?
All right,
next point. Let's go.
Bullet point number 2. Y'all ready for this? I'm gonna call this one feminine honor, and we're gonna, that'll probably be the timestamp, feminine honor. But really, honor. The reason I say it that way is because honor is a masculine trait. Honor is a trait that exists between men. He has honor naturally. I have honor naturally. If we do things to cross each other's honor, there's like a huge chance that we'll either be upset or not talk to each other again if you dishonor or disrespect another man, right? But with women, they don't really have honor. Let me explain what I mean by that. The man, when he comes into a relationship, because he is a man, is almost operating from the frame of business. If I do good to you and you do good to me, we do good to each other, honor, honor. Today, the biggest problem in dating is that women don't operate under the tenements of honor because honor is a masculine trait and not a feminine trait. But it can be a feminine virtue if you listen to me. That's why I'm calling it feminine honor. This is something that would have to be adopted into the culture as a new mentality. You would have to have a feminine, honorable viewpoint of the man's actions. You would have to say to myself, as the title of the episode, as the way that we're framing this, in order for me as a woman to get the man that I want, in order to be in the right frame of mind to be dating men, and in the right frame of mind for me to lock down a man that I love, admire, and respect, you know what I'm saying, shout outs, I have to come into the frame of understanding that I need to respect his authority. I need to respect his masculine virtues, and I need to multiply his feminine virtue or masculine virtues, and I need to magnify his masculine virtues. So if you have now done the great diligent deed of picking an honorable man, you need to be able to magnify his honorable virtues because you have come into the frame of understanding that you will show him feminine honor. It's very rare these days that a girl has that. In fact, if a girl had that, I think just that tenement alone would keep the majority of marriages. And that tenement alone would keep the majority of relationships. So another tenement of that is that when you are in feminine honor and you're respecting his authority, you do not argue with the man. Shout out to the Bible. It literally says in the Bible, it is better for a man to stand alone on the roof of his house than to be with a quarrelsome woman. Look it up. That's real. If you are a girl and ego has gotten to your head and power has gotten to your head and you are spiritually more susceptible to like the devil or outside forces or propaganda coming into your soul, into your mindset, and you can let people brainwash you or let other girls around you brainwash you into pushing your man and annoying your man and not listening to your man and being disrespectful to your man, you don't deserve a man. You deserve what's coming to you. An early a slow death to a relationship with a bunch of cats in a grave, all alone by yourself, And you, even though you women will say, I'd rather die alone, I'd rather die alone, trust me, DJ Matchmaker knows that's not true. None of you would rather die alone. Truth.
Hell yeah, good fucking shit. And yeah, as a woman, having honor, when I hear honor with women, I just don't, it's like, I don't even expect a bitch to have honor. Like, and I'll touch on I don't expect her to have honor because she's going to do what's best for her by any means, and she's biologically made up to do that. Because if she's with a weak man, and let's go back in fucking years, thousands of years ago, if she's with a weak man and then a strong man comes by and he kills her weak man, and she's left to just be with that guy because how she's not going to survive on her own because another dude's just going to capture her, and who knows, maybe take advantage of her, hopefully not. But yeah, honor with the women, they're programmed to do what's in their best interest at all times. Now, if your girl is disrespecting you or she's nagging you, she doesn't want to follow your lead, that is your fault as a man. That is a sign that you are a bitch. So then, anytime your girl disrespects you, think in your head, where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong? Somewhere in the mix, whether you may have when you first met her, you started off to show that you're a bitch and you're not a leader. That is why she is disrespecting you. Andrew Tate says this, girls are a good way of finding out where you are at in the world. The way a woman treats you, that's a good way to find out what your inadequacies are, and a good way to tell you need to change. So if women are steadily doing shit that you don't like to you, that is a sign right now that you need to change. If you're the guy who's being disrespected by women, not being taken serious by women, that means there's something about yourself that you have to change. So what I've noticed in my experience is that when I'm not being a good leader, that's when a woman starts behaving a certain way because she knows that she needs to be led, or else, if we go back thousands of years ago, that means she's going to die. So that's how serious it is for a woman for her to be with the leader. Now, when I then develop myself, built my character into someone who can lead a woman, take her down the right path, guide her, show her the world, I stop dealing with that disrespect. They start respecting me and treating me as if I am a man to be respected because I showed her that I can lead her down the right way and she can trust me, she can walk behind me, and I can take her to a path to where we're going to succeed and see great things, and she can just stay in her feminine energy. So if you're being disrespected by women, you need to change something about you.
100%. And let me go on into kind of giving you girls the game on some of the virtues here that you would need in this frame of mentality in order to have respect for a man. See, some of the things missing from society is, like, I would say you can find this in missing books of the Bible. Let me tell you the story about Judith, right? See, in some of these missing books, what you'll find is that for all the books that have been removed, you'll find where society is lacking in this very area. Now, as Dantes was just describing, there's multiple levels to life, and if you're in a survival-based instinct and you want to date purely off survival, you could do that, but I would encourage you to think beyond and maybe just go a little more, right? The book of Judith is a missing book, and it picks up where the woman had left off, and she was much like in a tower like this. She would be in honoring her fallen husband, and she hadn't slept with anyone, and she would wear under garments that were no longer pretty, even though she had a lot of beauty, and she was known for her beauty in all of the land. And she would stay on her knees, and she would pray to God, and her city was being taken over. But before we go into the full story, which is something you could pick up on with me later, the point of that part of the story is that she is honoring her fallen man. So this woman could have decided to go off and use her survival instincts to go be conquered by the other village and find a stronger man. But she didn't. She stayed honorable to her man. She respected his authority even in death. And I'll tell you this is a very hard conversation that me and Tez have had, but 9 times out of 10, in death, even the man would prefer that you remained his. From virginity to the grave, he would prefer that you remain true to him and pure to him. And if you're going to date that way, again, ladies, you're going to get all that you need, because when a man falls, there is still God before you to take care of you. Now, in that very same story, yada, 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 as the land is being conquered, she received instructions from God. They were getting conquered by a neighboring village, and she had to go and be around this guy, cut off his head. he was no longer a problem, and she remained vigilant in her time frame. Another book that you guys need to read is Belle and the Dragon, or no, the Book of Susanna. The Book of Susanna is where it talks about how women can stay virtuous before God. See, what happens is three really, really evil priests, or I believe at the time they would have been not shaman. They would have been. There's a different word for it. It'll come to me later. And what these really evil priests did is all three of them threw her in a room and said, "If you don't come out and lay with us, we will tell everybody that you laid with us anyway." And she had to remain virtuous before God, so she said no, and she said no. And then they all spread a rumor about him. Then the King David had to come out there and question all of those men. And what he did, it was the G move, is he questioned them individually, and they all had a different story about what happened. And because they all had a different story about what happened, and she kept her purity, no weapon formed against her prospered. She was able to remain virtuous for her man and before God. And these are the kind of tenements that I would like for you ladies to kind of think about. See, all of this comes down to respecting masculine authority. You can either respect the man who brings you to God, or you can respect God. But your position in life is to respect these two things in that order. When you are a woman, you need to fulfill your role as a woman, and you need to be in that feminine, submissive, remember, under the mission. You need to be under the mission mind frame. And as you're under the mission and you choose what man to stick to that's on a good mission, that man will be able to bring you on a path that's going to lead to your virtue, because you have to understand, once you emotionally bonded to him, you are now a sub-version of him. Exactly what you were created for to do. And there is nothing more beautiful and fulfilling in your life that you can do than be the counterpart to a masculine man. And masculine men come from 5-star, baby.
Hell yeah, let's fucking get it. Good fucking shit. Now we're gonna move on to number 3 for the men. You hoe ass. No, y'all not bitch ass no niggas no more. Y'all some hoe ass niggas. No, but shout out to my guys who want to get better. But no, for number 3 for the men, have an abundance mindset. If you're not in abundance, and that means you're in scarcity, of course, obviously, as you know. And when you're in scarcity, you make decisions based off of desperation. So have an abundance mindset. Be out there. If you're not getting a lot of women, know that you can attract a lot of women. And just go to Google and look up how many women are in America, or how many women are in whatever country or state that you're in, and see how many options are out there. So many guys are not in an abundance mindset, and they think that once they get one girl, she's the one, she's my soulmate, I'm going to be with her for the rest of my life, I'm going to put all my energy into her. And when you do shit like that, that's when you make the wrong decision. Now, when you're in abundance of mindset, you think more clearly. The decisions that you make are more beneficial to you. So first, before you ever think about getting into a serious relationship with a girl, you need to first have an abundance mindset. If you've gone years without pussy and you've just been fiending for it, and you finally get a girl, and then 2 weeks, a month go by, next thing you know, you commit to her, that is not the position you want to be in. You are the guy at the poker table with the least amount of money who's playing against a guy who has $1 million, and then it's just going to be big bank, take little bank. Once you're in desperation and you're with the girl, she's going to start taking advantage of you, because she's going to end up seeing by your behavior, by your mannerisms, that she's your only option, and she's going to know then that she has all the leverage, and then she's going to treat you like a piece of shit because she knows that you can't get any other pussy without her. So have an abundance mindset. Think huge. Know that you can get any woman. Even if you can't, just believe in your head that you can get any woman. And that starts with putting yourself out there, talking to women. But that abundance mindset is important.
Yo, he is not lying. And as a testament to the virtues of what Tez is saying, I can tell you this straight up. Me and him have an abundance mindset, and it is working out great. Tez, can you imagine if I had stayed caught up with like 1 or 2 or 3 of the girls that you have seen me talk to since the time we've been making this happen out here, bro? Can you imagine if I had just stayed locked in on just the one? Bro, how many girls have we spoken to with our abundance mindset in the time that we've been putting together 5-star?
I couldn't even, bro. I'm not even gonna. I couldn't tell you, bro. I can't even tell you.
Couldn't even tell you, right? Now there's a reason for that. See, me and him are both telling you to date exactly how women date. Women have an abundance mindset naturally, and here's how you know that. They always say, well, there's a possibility that, or there's somebody out there that can, or it doesn't matter how he is. There's someone out there that'll really take care of me. But men don't think like that. Men are way more likely to fall in love faster, and that is a part of your biological hardwiring that is beauty. There is a lot of beauty in that. There's, again, women, if you would shut the fuck up and lower your fucking standards the way that I want you to, you know, everyone would be paired off. But since you're not doing that at the moment, what's happening is that men are falling in love with the girl who's not good for them. And what's really happening, if we break it down a couple layers, is that women in a relationship, you're never supposed to have power. Women in general should never have power. So when a man who is supposed to have power puts all his love and attention and time into the woman, she then believes she has the power. And when she has power, women turn out to be horrible people. Am I right? So when they turn out to be horrible people, she will use this power that you've now given her to attack you and go against you. And that's your fault as the man. You should never give her enough power to make the relationship about her. You need to stay attractive, and you need to have an abundance to the point where, when I get into the bonus round, we'll talk about how when you have an abundance mindset, it actually makes a long-term dating strategy play that I have in my back pocket better for everybody. Now, I have the third point that I'm going to move into. The third point that I'm going to move into is about a girl being peaceful. But this one was about having the abundance mindset, yeah? Number three?
Yeah. Be in abundance as a man. Know that there's millions of women out there, thousands of women out there. And if you're having a scarcity mindset, if you find yourself giving a girl all your attention, the first girl that you talk to or the first girl that gives you a little bit of attention, you're not in abundance. You know if you're in a scarcity. If you're beating your dick every day, you're in a scarcity mindset. If you're giving out your attention with just getting nothing in return, you're in a scarcity mindset. So be in abundance. That way you make the decision that's actually best for you. It's like when you have, let's say you have $1 million in the bank. You have a lot of money. I don't have $1 million in the bank. Let's say you have $1 million in the bank. You have the choice whether or not you want to go get a nice ass steak dinner or you want to go eat McDonald's or Taco Bell. That's the benefits of being in abundance. If you have no women, you're in such scarcity. Next thing you know, you're going to be eating at McDonald's, i.e. giving all your fucking attention and resources to a bitch who's at the bottom of the barrel who's not worth shit because you're in such scarcity, you're starving so much, you're going to take whatever the fuck that you can get. So when you're in abundance, you then have options, you then know that there's so much more out there, and then you make the decision that's actually going to benefit you. So abundance is key, and have an abundance mindset.
100%. So look, check this out. Right now, if you want to help us out, me and Tez are building out the studio, man. And that's at Linktree 5-star support. But, you know, to add to what Tez was just saying, I want to give them the Monopoly example, right? So why I talked about the studio just now is as we're building it out, if you guys want to help, go ahead, go to Linktree 5-star support. You'll be able to help us there with some donations and super chat in. I was just talking to Tez about this, and Tez is giving you the game. In the Monopoly example, what happens is there's two types of players in the Monopoly game. There's players that are set up to be rich, i.e. abundant, right? And those players that are set up to be rich have much different behaviors than the players that are chosen to be poor. So what happens is in this game of Monopoly is they set up a camera, and one is facing the player that's predispositioned to be rich, and the other player that's predispositioned to be poor. And what they find is that the one that is poor, like you guys that we said in the beginning that didn't take the time to build your stability, have a behavior that's very like eyes looking down, submissive, kind of quiet, kind of almost like playing the role of the perfect employee, right? But the ones that have money, they start taking their pieces that move around the board and slapping it around, being more confident, louder, and literally will grab snacks that are laid out on the table, and they'll be the ones that just eat food ruthlessly, whereas the other player doesn't do that. And if you would listen to what Tez is telling you, he's literally giving you the game. And next time that I talk about something like that, I'm going to pull up the visuals on the screen. Like I said, Tez and myself are building out the whole studio right now, so if you want to get in the 5-star, the Linktree 5-star support, the link is in the description. You can Cash App us, Venmo us. You can hit us with the super chats. You can tell friends to like donate in. And we're building out some massive visuals to bring you guys massive value so you can make this extremely easy for your friends to understand, your family to understand that if you want to take dating seriously and you're coming up with a game plan to get the best woman, or ladies, the best man for your lifetime strategy, support 5-star, man. That's what we're out here to do, baby.
1000%. And I want to touch on the monopoly point that you made because I have something I'm going to branch off that. Think about it. The word monopoly. When you are in scarcity and you get a girl, she then has a monopoly on you. She's the only fucking one that you can get. It's like a company. When they have a monopoly in an area, they then take advantage of that and they'll start increasing prices because they know they're the fucking only option in that area. So the same thing, when your girl has a monopoly over you, she knows that she's the only one that you can get. She's then going to start behaving any kind of fucking way because she knows whatever she does, you're going to stay. Because there's nowhere else that you can go. Because you can't get no other women, no other bitches. And that's why it's important, again, to demonstrate that you can get other women. So she knows, like, fuck, let me behave. This guy, I can be replaced. And let me not disrespect him at all. So that's why it's important to have an abundance mindset. And never let your girl, just to go off the example or analogy that Chris made, never let her have a monopoly over you. Because the moment she does, you are going to be disrespected. You're going to feel like shit. And just getting pussy, having sex with her is not worth feeling disrespected for. So let's get it.
Yeah, man. Sex is not the only tenement of being a lady at all whatsoever. Yes, women are the only ones who provide sex, and sex is incumbent upon you and you alone, women. But now I'm going to move on to point number 3 for you ladies. The things that you need to do to be in a relationship with a man that you want to have bring you the world is that in order for him to do that to you, you have to understand that he's fighting the world and you need to be peaceful. You need to have a peaceful aura. You need to have femininity. That is built into having a peaceful aura, where you are bringing the calm and not the chaos. Now, in general, for all dating advice, for all dating that you'll ever hear about from me, Hollywood movies are a bad example 100% of the time. However, your boy DJ Matchmaker be doing a lot of research, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll watch older movies to contrast how we're doing in 2025. And believe it or not, the femininity that you will find in older women, in older movies from the women, is out of this world peaceful. Peace is the most important to a man. I'm going to give you an example of a movie that I had just saw last night. It's one called Major Payne, with one of the Wayans brothers, right? And in that movie, in particular, Major Payne is a war veteran, and it's a comedy, so it's, you know, done in the style of comedy, but he's like a war veteran, and he can only think in terms of war. And that's very relatable to men like myself or other men. You only think in like a war strategy path, or you're out here building, or out here moving. And just the chaos of the mentality of a man's mindset to be ready to go to war for his woman, for his country, for his children. Just the fact that me and Dantes right now, we could go to shooting ranges and pick up guns under the premise that we are training ourselves to be better soldiers in any capacity for whatever that would mean for the future. We're doing the training for that time, if that time were to be here, and women do not have that. Even if you're in the military, you girls are held to a different standard. Now, there are some great women out there in that field. You know, shout out to you ladies. You know, shout out to the boys in blue, the ladies in blue. Shout out to the military ladies, too. But we're talking about dating here. And having a peaceful aura literally helps the man. Let me explain what happened in that movie, Major Payne, right? The woman who used to play Hillary on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with Will Smith, his cousin in that movie, was in that movie with Major Payne, right? And she plays the love interest of Major Payne. And while Major Payne is out here being a drill sergeant, telling the kids, get in line, maggot turds, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and he's being like over the top belligerent on children, she comes in with peace and calm and uses her femininity to speak to the man. She doesn't get up in his face and tell him what's up. She doesn't try to fight him and be ratchet. She literally uses her calming eyes and her feminine charm and her light voice to speak to the man and simply say, if you're a little bit more understanding and a little bit more nurturing, like I, the woman, am supposed to be, you might find that those boys start to respect you as a family. And if you have a unit of men that respect you as a family, you'll be able to move, you'll be even more able to move better and stronger. And all of that comes from a woman having the feminine virtue of being peaceful. Ladies, that's all you have to do. Revert back to your feminine nature. Be peaceful for the man so he can go out here and be great. And ultimately, the 5-star goal is to have an entire society of women that are treating their men so peacefully with the men that they've selected that we are literally prospering in wealth and abundance from just that behavior alone. Kez, you know what I'm saying, bro?
1000%. So when Chris says aura, I automatically think feminine energy. That is the most powerful. It's purity and feminine energy. Those are the two most powerful things that a woman can have. Because with your feminine energy, it's naturally peaceful. The world is telling you to be a boss babe, be an alpha female, go chase a career, battle your man, compete with your man. You are the table. All of that is masculine behavior, masculine energy. So the more you consume that content, the more you have those beliefs, then you're going to fill your body with that, and then you become more masculine. And that's taking away from your feminine energy. That's taking away from your peaceful aura that you naturally have as a woman. And now, ladies, to give you an example so you have an idea of how men think, ladies, when you see a man, you see a strong man, he might have a battle scar. He looks like he's gone through shit. He's walked through the fire. He's made it through the rain. And you're like, fuck, that guy is amazing. He's went through some shit. He's overcame challenges, obstacles, and he made something out of himself. You know how you like that? Now, we're the complete opposite. We want a woman who has no scars, who has been oblivious to life, who's been just sheltered, who's been away from the real world, whose parents have just guided them the whole way, who's let them know that the world is peaceful, it's stressless. We want women who have not gone through anything, because the more you have gone through as a woman, the more trials, tribulations, stress, challenges, that's making you more masculine. It's a masculine trait. So I know some ladies are going to say, well, you just want a weak woman that you can take advantage of. No, we've all heard opposites attract. We want the opposite of us. We don't want another man, because then we're gay. We want you to be naturally in your feminine energy, as feminine as possible. That's what we want. So the same way you don't want your man acting like a bitch, acting like a female, it's the same way we don't want our woman, our lady, acting like a man. And society is telling her to adopt these masculine traits, but that's not what we want. That's why a lot of women are finding themselves single or perpetually in relation or in dating sex cycles to where they're just getting dumped and pumped consistently. So ladies, in order to keep that feminine natural energy, just be peaceful and don't put yourself through any stress that you don't have to put yourself through, because you don't need it. That's not what we're looking for as men, because the men that you attract with that energy, it's not going to be the man that you respect. So if you want the man that you respect, always behave like a lady. Find a mom, a grandmother. If they're not ladies, go find a role model out there. There's plenty of lady podcasts, people out there that you can adopt their behavior. That way you can start having that feminine energy. And ladies, you know, because I've talked to a few of you guys, you know deep down when you're walking around with masculine energy. Women, you guys want to just be able to lean back and just have fresh air, be peaceful, and be in your feminine energy. You don't want to be masculine all the time, having this energy like you have to live up to a standard that society gave you because they want you to compete with men so you can make all this money just so you can pay the government more taxes. And it's for the government. They benefit from this. This is not in your they're not in your best interest. This is all so you can pay taxes. You're not against the man. Men haven't been putting you down. It's not the patriarchy. It's the government telling you to do this so you can pay more taxes, so we can all pay more taxes to the government, so it's better for society. So they're willing to give you information that's going to be a detriment to you so it can benefit society. So just know it's not men. We're not battling against each other. Men, it's not women. It's not their fault. We're better as one. We come together and we create empires. And to do that, man, you have to be in your masculine energy, your masculine frame. And ladies, you be in your feminine energy. Be docile. I know some ladies might take that as, oh, I have to be weak. I have to dumb myself down and be stupid. No, just be docile. Be in your feminine energy. And everyone is happy that way.
Yo, fucking bars. That's. Let's get a big ovation from my dog Tez real quick. That's what I'm saying, bro. And I remember the word from earlier when I was talking about the book of Susanna. It's Pharisees. They were evil Pharisees. Now, let's rewind what Tez was just saying, right? Literally, we don't want you to have battle scars, ladies. Check this out, man. I know that you saw Sex in the City and you think that we want you to be like Sarah Jessica Parker out here in the world, conquering the world by yourself. Fuck all that. Tez, bro, I literally told you there was like two different times that I just, in this building, met this beautiful girl. I'm inviting you on the show, by the way, baby. You can watch this part. This part's about you. She is in the elevator 2 times now with her mom, making me think, man, she might be sheltered just the way that I want. She's moving around with her mother and stuff, and I'm literally attracted to that. I'm not attracted to the idea that she's single and I could go out and like take my rope and grab her and pull her into my life. I'm attracted to the fact that she's chilling out with her mother. And if her mother, and of course she is a great woman, you know what I'm saying? You might be coming on the show too, baby. If she's leading a good example for her daughter, 9 times out of 10, because when you take on a woman, you're taking on the family too, right? You are gonna have a girl that has good behaviors. You know what I'm saying? She gotta make mommy proud too and stuff. We like that. We're attracted to that. Now, before I move on to my 4th bullet point here, did you give a chance to give your 3rd one?
No, it's gonna be my 4th one, because that was your 3rd one, the feminine aura.
Yes, sir.
So my 4th one. Did you have something to say before we move?
Hey, man, I'm ready to move on. I'm just agreeing. I'm agreeing with my dog Dantes, man. Baby girl in the elevator, I see you.
Hey.
No scars, no scars.
Hey. So now number 4 for the men. Hit you guys with some more sauce here. Number 4. Make sure to remember, like, comment, subscribe so we can keep this fucking show on the road and keep going. Just do what you got to do. Either way, we're adding value. Fuck it. We're going to add value regardless. You want to hate, you want to fucking not support, fuck it. We're still going to show up and add value regardless. So number 4 for the men, for you gay men. Not for the gay men, but for you, for the men. Let me hit you guys with some sauce. Number 4, be a leader. Know how to lead. I mentioned this on the last live stream, on the last podcast. You have to know how to lead. If you take a woman's opinion too serious, you give it too much thought, you value it too much, you're not a good leader. You have to know how to lead a woman. If you find yourself asking your girl, where does she want to go for the date? What does she want to do? If you go 50-50 with your girl, if you let her drive, these are signs that you're not a good leader. So you have to know how to lead a woman. When she's around you, she has to know that she can shut her brain off. All the shit that all the stress that she's been dealing with, it no longer exists, because she knows that she can finally lay back when she's around you, because you're going to lead. You're going to give her an experience. She's going to fall under your wing, and you're going to show her the way. So if you're not a good leader, you don't know how to lead a woman, you don't know how to plan dates, you don't know how to show her a good time because you lack leadership. You think you're some noble guy because you're asking her what she wants to do. You want to just appease to whatever she wants all the time. You're not a good leader, and she doesn't respect you for that. She wants a guy who's going to say, we're going to be here at this time, we're this, I'm picking you up, or meet me here, but do this, and this is what it is. That's what she wants. Not a passive guy who's like, well, babe, it's up to you. What do you want? I don't care. What do you want? What do you want? Logically, it makes sense. Well, whatever you want to do, babe, to make you happy, that's what we're going to do. Logically, you think you're actually going somewhere, getting somewhere with that, but she respects you less because you're showing her that whatever she wants holds more value than what you want, and then she's leading and she'll never respect you. So be a good leader. Keep tuning in. If you're not a good leader, keep tuning in. Go watch podcasts, live streams. Just find out how to just get leadership traits. That way, you can actually, once you do get in a relationship, you can lead a woman down to the right path, and you guys can actually have a successful, fulfilling relationships.
Facts on facts, bro. That's what I'm talking about. So let me add on to what Tez is saying from the woman's point of view, right? The fact, like, that if you went on a date with a girl and you didn't understand that you needed to plan the date and you needed to tell her what to wear and you needed to already understand the food that you're going to give her, you as a man, and ladies, I'm speaking for you right now because sometimes guys don't understand when you speak. You got to understand that women are completely different than men. For example, when you go up and talk to a girl, they love to receive attention. If you're afraid of going and talking to a girl, 9 times out of 10, you're a bitch. We'll have a cold approach episode if we have to. Another thing about that is when she gets in the car and you're saying where we're going to eat, she is in the being provided for mind frame, whereas you are in the provisioner mind frame. Don't talk to her logically. She is not logical. She is a representation of you. She is a little mini version of your possible team. She literally is waiting for you to say, let's say her name is Emily. She's waiting for you to say, Emily, today, as the leader, I have decided to show you that this is how much I love you. That's how the first part of her brain is thinking. Because I'm giving you sushi, or because I'm giving you expensive sushi, or because I'm giving you super duper expensive sushi on a yacht, this is how much I love you or respect you or want to be around you. That is kind of how women think, right? But let me break it down a little bit more to a realistic scenario. In a normal dating scenario, if this is your girl, she's probably just looking to see, this is what he wants to give me. And she wants to be on the receiving end of that. Because women, as a great man once said, are resource extractors. Now, don't look at that in a negative connotation if you're providing things in a good way. It's good for her to be that way because you're showing her what you want her to be on. Let me give you an example. If you're saying, baby, let's go eat some cheeseburgers, she will literally, like, let's say they're like from a fast food restaurant, right? She will literally say, in her brain, okay, he wants to eat cheeseburgers. I'm down to eat cheeseburgers too, because I'm already here. And that means to me, as a girl, girls will think into more details than you ever will. She thinks, well, what we eat doesn't matter too much, so then maybe what we do doesn't matter too much, so then I'm just kind of going to be here for what doesn't matter that much to him in this area. But let's give you a different scenario. If you say to the girl, baby, we're going to eat very specific fitness food. It has to be this type of chicken, it has to be this type of steak, it has to be this type of lettuce, it has to be this, and this. Then you're telling the girl, it matters a lot what goes in my body. And if it matters a lot what goes in my body, that means that I have a standard that when you come home and we're cooking on a day where we're not going out, it matters a lot what you cook to put in my body and your body. So I'm a fitness man, and as per association, you are a fitness female. What you say to the girl always matters all the time. You literally have to hold your frame all the time. Being in a relationship is almost like a game of chess. It is the building blocks of life. It is a lot of work. To be in a relationship with a woman, you are literally supplying the provisioning to her life. And every move and every detail and everything that you say matters and accumulates a bigger picture. Do you agree with what I'm saying, big dog Tez?
1000%. That's how you're spot on. I mean, that's how you lead a woman is her falling under your authority and mainly under your frame. Have a frame, a strong, tight-knit frame that she can follow and fall under when she's with you. Because if you don't have a frame and you're kind of just going with the wind, then that makes you a woman and you guys are the same. She's not going to respect you. So know how to lead a woman, or figure out how to lead before you get in a relationship. And first you have to start with leading yourself. So if you're not holding your word consistently over a long period of time to yourself, that means you can't lead yourself. If you're telling yourself you're going to do something and you don't end up doing it 9 times out of 10 and more often than not, then you can't lead yourself. If you've been telling yourself over the last 6 months, year, 2 years that you're going to get in the gym consistently and you haven't done it, you're not good at leading yourself. If you've told yourself you're going to get in shape or you're going to build this business, you keep telling yourself you're going to do these things, start a podcast or become a fitness coach, or you telling yourself you're going to do these things and you don't end up doing it, those are signs that you're not a good leader and you can't lead yourself. So first, before you can lead a woman, you have to lead yourself. Start holding your word to yourself. All the hard shit that you've been copping out on, that you've been dismissing because you don't feel like doing it, all that hard shit, let's start with doing that first over a long period of time. Then that means you're able to lead yourself. Once you start doing the hard shit yourself, then a girl will be able to fall under your frame, because she sees that you hold your word to yourself, you're disciplined, and you actually have a strong frame. So first it starts there, because if you can't do that, then don't even fucking thinking about leading a woman, because she's going to smell it on you. It's going to be in your energy, your aura, that you don't even hold your word to yourself. So you want to wonder why women don't respect you, and you just they just lead with not respecting you, because they can sense it on you. They can see the way that you move. We know that women are more, they're communicative. They're able to, sense more on men, the way that they behave, because detail oriented, or we're fighters. We're more like, if I'm mad, I'm gonna fucking kill you, I'm gonna punch you, I'm gonna beat your ass. They're more so manipulative. They're able to assess the room more easier than guys. So when I say assess the room easier than guys, they're able to identify a guy who doesn't hold his word to himself, who's not disciplined. So immediately they know 5-10 seconds with meeting you that this guy is not a good leader. He doesn't hold his word to himself. So that's why you find yourself keep getting disrespected by women, is because they immediately sense it on you that this guy is not the real deal. He can't even fucking hold his word to himself. So how the fuck am I going to let him lead me? So before you can lead a woman, lead yourself first.
And that matters a lot to women. And yo, shout this out. Go watch the last episode. This goes back to what Tez and myself were talking to in the world of fitness. If you cannot command the discipline within yourself, if you do not have the stability within your life, these two tenements alone will disqualify you from being a man that deserves or can earn a woman at all. You know, we want to earn a woman's love. And in order to do that, you got to have discipline ready to freaking go. Bruv, please go watch that last episode, man. Tez was giving out major sauce for you to have a winning formula.
Of course, hell yeah, let's fucking go now, Chris. Let's hit him with number 4 with the ladies, with the women out there. Let's go.
All right, so this one is a big one. In fact, if you go to my Instagram right now, you'll see that this is where beauty doesn't even matter if the girl has this part, right? So when you're a girl and you're coming into a man's life, you need to be prepared to serve. Let's talk about what that means a little bit. If you're a girl and you got rich doing degenerate things, and now you think that you could command the world through money, and you could just order DoorDash, or you could just travel around the world and do whatever you want to do, or if you want to go out there and have like a ladies' night because you think it's cool, you're not ready to date. You're ready to be a man. And I want to help you kind of structure along the lines of where you should be thinking this way. You should not do everything that you want to do while you're young when you're a girl. That is a lie from hell. What you should do is immediately, because you're most fertile between 18 and 24, get into a relationship with a man that is the right man, that you had your family, your brothers, your fathers, 5-star helped you choose, so you can be prepared to serve the man. So bullet point number 4, be prepared to serve. Now, I just told you the problem, right? Where women falter in these areas. But why is it so important to be prepared to serve? Now, if you're a girl and you're listening to me and I'm giving you advice and you think going in the kitchen or having a family means slavery, get the fuck off my channel. I'm not speaking to you. I'm talking to the pure ones. The ones who really want to be here. The girls who really want a man. The women who really want to use their feminine frame to service a man out of love and to fall in love and to be in love from her emotional point of view. You want to be emotionally intelligent? Fuck all of that from the feminist propaganda. You want to be emotionally intelligent? Get intelligent with yourself. Be prepared to serve a man. So this is also why when you, as a woman, choose a man, you must choose a man who's on a mission. Let me give you a quick example of that. These men right here are on a mission. These men are on a mission to build the best show of all time ever. So if a girl comes into my life, by default, she must relinquish her past. I don't give a fuck if she was a teacher that was teaching school children. I don't give a fuck if she was doing some type of nursing. I don't give a fuck if she went to school for 8 years to be a PhD doctor. Fuck all that. She is mine. Now, I'm actually working on something that's coming soon, you know what I'm saying? Tez knows what it is, but if I was selecting a girl to be a part of this, she's got to be a marketing girlfriend. She's got to understand how to maybe clip up some content, shoot some videos. Shout out to Donovan Sharp. His girlfriend runs an e-commerce store. I'm very big into e-commerce, as you guys will find out. That's a huge way to relinquish the need for slavery, get your time paid back. And if I don't have a girl who's into e-commerce, I'm not going to date her for nothing because she can't multiply back to me. So you women need to be able to choose a man who is on a mission, not a fucking employee if he's just an employee. And the reason I say that is you could conceivably date a man who's just an employee, but this is 5-star. I'm doing the best that I can to give you access to the 5-star relationship, a top of the top man. And if a man is on a mission, that allows you to be in submission. So let's say that this man's mission was to build the largest building in all of Florida as a realtor. It would be in your best interest to learn everything about him, everything about that he's ever learned, everything about what he's doing, be able to have conversations with him about this topic. And if he's not around, and you, let's say, are being his assistant, and you're picking up the phone and answering calls, and you're being loyal to him, and you're only giving your attention to just him and no other men, and let's say that he's out at like a party, and now this is where you're allowed to talk to other men and stuff with their wives and stuff, right? And this guy who's building the skyscraper, his name is Mark, and his friend's name is John, and John is married to Emily, and now John says, it's very nice to meet you, Mark, and how is it dating him? You need to be able to command and showcase his value, and when you can showcase his value, you're multiplying him. So you need to say that my man building the building is putting more hours in than everybody, but he's delivering something that's so special and so epic, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. You will be amazed at what he is doing, and I do everything I can to help him grow better. I do everything I can to make him faster, make him stronger, make him better at all of his work. See, you need to be able to come in and be of service, because let me tell you this, if you go on my Instagram right now, there are girls on my Instagram that when I was asking this question with Tez, I go up and be like, one of the questions was like, do you want to come into a home come into something that's already established, or do you want to come in and help build? And for my dating strategy, all the girls who said help build, no matter their attractive level, no matter if they were a 10 or a 6 or a 4, like the minute that they said that, skyrocket. They literally skyrocketed into more attraction, because you can be beautiful like these models, but if you can't do anything other than just be beautiful, you're effectively useless to a serious man. And I'm telling you, ladies, how to get a serious man, because if you're following what I'm saying, a man who now can't replace you because you put so much time, effort, and energy into helping build his world, he's gonna love you. Oh man, he gonna love you. What do you think, my dog?
1000%. He's gonna fuck with you for sure. He's gonna fuck with you. And ladies, it comes down to, first, it's finding a man who you can fall under and he's actually has shit and that you can come in and do, and he's gonna make you an asset. So that's finding the right guy who is a leader. So that's not on you. But yeah, you ladies, you just have to be willing. Be willing to add value to him. Don't think just because you're a girl, you have a pussy, that you don't have to do anything, that you can just sit there and look pretty and nothing like that. That's just enough. That's not enough. A guy who is who's good with women, who gets girls, him fucking you isn't enough. You have to come in, add some value in any way, whether that's cooking, helping him out with his business, cleaning. Just do something. Don't think you're too pretty to not do anything, have to do anything outside of sex, because it's not enough. You're gonna find yourself again getting dumped and pumped consistently and just getting fucked over a long period of time by different guys and never getting into a serious committed relationship long term with the guy who actually loves and respects you, because all you know is just leading with your pussy, and that's all they're gonna ever see you as, is a hot girl who gives me pussy. I'm just gonna have fun with her. I'm never gonna give her any real commitment, which is what most women want, is real commitment from a man they actually love, admire, and respect. Shout out to Myron from Fresh and Fit. That's his line. Love Myron.
Shout out.
Love, admire, and respect. So you have to be able to just be willing to come in and add value. And if you don't know, if you really like the man and you don't know how you can help him out, ask him. Realistically, it's his job to give you the guidance on how you can add value to his life. But if not, if he doesn't do that and you actually care about him, you love him, and you respect him, ask him like, babe, is there anything that I can do? Just a simple question like that, you're going to set yourself apart from 99% of women, and he's going to actually like respect that and just love that you actually ask him how you could help, because most women aren't doing that. Most women think that it's enough to just give up sex, give him some pussy, and that's just enough. So once he sees that you're actually willing to put in the effort to do more outside of sex, he's gonna want to keep you around, because most women aren't doing that. The same way when a girl sees a guy, or she talks to a guy who can actually lead her, and he's actually someone worth following, she respects that and loves that so much, because she knows that most guys aren't doing that nowadays. So ladies, be willing to add more value outside of sex, and you're gonna find yourself in a more fulfilling relationship, or you're gonna find guys willing to give you more effort because of that, willing to show you a better time, they're gonna respect you more because you're willing to put in the effort to them outside of sex. Most women aren't doing that.
Yo, big claps to my dog Dantes. Now check this out. Before we go into the fifth pillar, I have one ready to go. Ladies, we're doing everything we can to get you date ready. Men, we're doing everything we can to make you superstar, all-star, date ready. The best at the providing class. You guys got to understand that we and Tez are here on a very serious mission with 5-Star. We're doing everything we can to bring you masculine value, feminine value, family value, society value overall. We're doing everything that we can to make the world a better place each and every time that we come on this stream. In order for you to help us and for us to keep going, I'm going to need you to subscribe to us on YouTube. Share this video with 5 friends minimum. Like it. Comment in there. Give us like more details on things that you'd like to talk about, things that we covered, and more things that you would want us to go into on a live episode, because we might start doing live episodes with you guys sooner than you think. We need you to be reaching out to us on Twitter. We need you to be reaching out to us on Instagram. We need you to follow us on Instagram. We need you to share this stuff in the stories with your friends and keep it going. And of course, we need you guys to support us. Linktree.com or Linktree/5-star support. Like I said, you can support us with Super Chats, support us with the Cash App, support us through Venmo, support us through each and every attribute that you have in order to do that, because me and Tez are looking to bring you guys way more things. We're looking to bring you merchandise. We're looking to bring you community. We're looking to bring you things that are going to make you better in the world with live events. And the only way that we're going to do that is that we know you want to be a part of our entire team here. You want to be a 5-star all-star. This is how we rock. This is how we roll. Tez, anything you want to say on that?
Yeah, we're going to bring you guys so much more. First, we're going to start with just giving you value, and it's going to be a rollout with everything else, but we see the bigger picture. We see big things that we can do with this platform, that we're going to do with this platform. First, we're going to consistently hit you guys with this value every day, as much as we possibly can. Just value, value, value. And we want you guys to ask questions. Like I said, if you're embarrassed, you don't want to ask certain questions, you can't ask your friends, you can't ask your family, because they're going to look at you a certain way. Ask us. I don't give a fuck if you create a fake account with the fucking fake picture, fake page, all that, just to ask a question because you're embarrassed. Ask us. We're here to help you, give you clarity on topics, and be someone who you can just who you can depend on, who you can lean on, and we can give you our advice the best as we can to help you in your life be successful in life and just dealing with women. And that's that. So either way you look at it, we're going to keep adding value and being the best that we can be, so you can be the best that you can be, and we can all rise to the fucking top, to the sky, to the fucking moon with Elon Musk and Starlink. Fuck that. We building our own Starlink. We've 5-star live stream. Everyone, our supporters, we are all headed to the fucking moon, to the top of the top. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's go. Yo, big man things, bruv. I agree with all this stuff, bruv. Y'all need to really come out here and support, because we're here to support you. We came out here on a mission to help you. That is what we do. Before I move into pillar number 5, man, is there other stuff you wanted to mention real quick? Anything you want to talk about?
So I have a 5th one for the men. You hit the 4th one. That was your 4th one for the ladies. So I'll 5th one for a man. Let me go right here, because they need to hit this shit, right? Let me go right here.
Let's get it.
So, yeah. So the 5th one for the men out there. You have to understand women better than they understand themselves. Let me run that back one time. You have to understand women. You have to get women more than they understand themselves. Now, if that went over your head, that confused you, that is a sign that you do not understand women better than they understand themselves. So, Tez, what do you mean by that? You have to know when women are dealing with you, they're on autopilot 9 times out of 10. They're just doing shit because based off their experiences, based off how they were raised, they're not really thinking about what they're actually doing when they're around you. There are few women who might actually do calculated shit, but a lot of times it's not calculated, it's all subconscious in their subconscious brain. So when you understand women better than they understand themselves, nothing will ever catch you off guard. It's always expected. You don't ever put anything past women. You see her behaviors, you know why she did what she did. You know why she said what she said, because you understand women. You understand what Donovan Sharp, shout out to Donovan Sharp, what he would say is women needs. You understand what she's not always speaking direct. It's indirect. What does she actually mean when she says certain things? So if you don't understand women better than they understand themselves, you're always going to find yourself at a disadvantage, because they're going to catch you off guard with the way that they communicate and the way that they behave, because it's so different from men. So you're going to start using your man logic, or the way that men operate, and you're going to start putting that onto her, but that's not the right way to go, because men and women are very different. So if you have to read books, watch a lot of podcasts, do research, and understand women, understand their biological makeup. And I always take it back to survival. 1,000 years ago, I always take it back there, because a lot of things that women do are based off of their survival instincts. What they like is based off their survival instinct. That's why in today's world they're fighting with each other based off 1,000 years their biological makeup in the modern world today, and what society's telling them what to do. So that's why they want the bad guy and the nice guy, because the bad guy is willing to go hunt, kill someone like they were 1,000 years ago. You needed to do that to survive, and now they don't need that. That's why you see girls with tech guys and whatnot, but they still fuck the bad guys. So you just have to understand women to better than they understand themselves. That way you'll never get caught off guard, and you always know what to expect. And in a sense, you have the upper hand, because you're always looking at her from a bird's eye view. Always be in a conversation with the woman from a bird's eye view. Be looking at it. You're in the conversation with her, but you're actually really just a spectator in third person while you're having the conversation with her. So understand women better than they understand themselves, and then you'll always find yourself at an advantage. So like I said before at the beginning of this number 5, if that went over your head and it confused you and you don't know what the fuck that I'm talking about, that means you do not understand women better than they understand themselves. So keep doing research, tuning in, reading books, watching podcasts, doing whatever you got to do to understand women, and you're going to find yourself in a good place.
Big facts, big man things. Appreciate that, bro. Yo, literally, he's not lying to you, man. If you don't have the ability to understand women, you shouldn't date them, because if you have the ability to understand women, then you have a higher chance of success in a long-term relationship. And if you don't understand women, you have no chance of success, so you're gonna have a very short relationship. And that just means you're gonna be doing the same thing over and over again with no results, which I believe is Albert Einstein's definition of insanity. And if you are insane, get the fuck off my live stream, man. We don't talk to insane people out here. We talk to winners. We talk to all-stars. We talk to men who want to be 5 stars. That is exactly what we do, man. So, Tez, man, I really appreciate you saying that for the broskies, because if they don't understand women better than they understand themselves, then what are they really doing?
Yeah, you need to understand a woman better than she understands herself. And like Rollo Tomasi says, shout out to Rollo, women want to be with the guy who just gets it. And when you understand women, and she knows that based off the way that you behave, based off the way that you communicate, that's going to make you more attracted to her. So you have to get it. And in order to just get it with dealing with women, you have to understand them. Most guys just don't get it. They go in there thinking logically all the time, thinking it from their perspective, or like they're dealing with the bros. That's not how it is with women. It's completely different. It's the total opposite. 99% of things that men do are just the complete opposite to women, that when the way that they think, the way that they behave. So you have to understand them. Take the time and fucking, like I said, read books, watch podcasts. Take that time, because it's so fucking serious. If you don't think this is serious, and if you're someone who wants to get married, you're investing so much resources and time into her that it's really that important, because this could save you from a marriage. This could save you from, getting divorced, have to pay all that child support, and just being in a stressful, fucked up situation. So it's very important to understand women if you want to have the most fulfilling life you possibly can. Who wants to go be alone? Like, fuck all that black pill shit. Like, fuck all that, bro. MGTOW. You want to be with the women so you live a more healthy life. Like, you know, Andrew Tate says this too. Like, you need to fucking get money, have women. You need all this shit. If you lack too much in one, you're going to be in such scarcity, and it's going to take control of your mind. So take some time and just understand women. I know it might sound corny or cheesy to some people to, you know, watch certain podcasts about women or read certain books, but if you want to have a more successful time with women, you have to do these things so you have better experiences.
And men, listen, if your girl is glitching, like malfunctioning, she'll literally will say something along the lines of, I just want you to understand. Why don't you just understand? You're just supposed to know. You're just supposed to read my mind. Is because, again, it's about the roles. God, man, woman, child. You really are supposed to know. You really are supposed to understand her better than she understands herself. Tez just gave you the game on that. And if she doesn't, she's literally going to glitch out and tell you, why aren't you commanding me or giving me the value or leading me in the way that I need to be led? It's, well, maybe you didn't pick her correctly in the mate selection. Maybe you didn't understand her tenements. Maybe you didn't understand her virtues. Maybe you didn't understand the kind of woman that she is, so you understand what kind of woman that you're dealing with. I tell Tez this stuff all the time. The kind of girls that you select, it changes, not necessarily changes your life, but it influences your life immediately, right? Shout out to the British girls, man, the UK, them. Right? We hang out with the British girls, we gotta adopt like some of the British behavior. If I'm dating Italian girls, arrivederci, eliamo al cinema. Then all of a sudden we're dealing with like Italian girls, so you gotta have Italian things. You're dating Spanish girls, you might want to know how to salsa or dance a little bit. But who you take in and your ability to understand them, their culture, their mindset, their mentality. Like I'm a sarcastic motherfucker in real life. Every time I date a Spanish girl, they don't have sarcasm in their country. So if I say something that's sarcastic, they'll take it literally and they don't get the joke behind it. So it feels like I'm hitting them like in the gut, like, oh, it feels like I'm punching them. And they're like, oh, how could he say that? You got to be able to understand what you're dealing with in front of you. That means you need to have interpersonal development. That means you need to be social. That means you need to have charm, charisma. That means you need to be out there in the world and really make things really be happening in order to even earn or deserve or be around a woman, bruv. You got to put in a lot of work, man. And we're giving you the game on that.
Yes, sir. 1000%. Hell yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. So look, you guys, you people that stayed it all the way up into tenement number 5, pillar number 5, bullet point number 5 of the day. For the ladies that are looking to get themselves a man, that are looking to date and be virtuous and serving and upholding and submissive to a man. Number 5 is number 5 very specifically for a reason. It is the last one for a reason. It is beauty. Let me tell you something about what beauty is to men, which is going to be different than your Instagram account, but check this out. The most beautiful girl is a girl who doesn't know that she's beautiful. Women, all of you are born with beauty. Most of you. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying? If you look like a horse or some shit, hey man, I'm trying to be nice out here a little bit, not really. If you look like a horse, man, shit, you fucked.
Well, yeah, the fact that you were born with a vagina, a pussy, you have value, so it's your way about going about that. So Chris, knock it out.
Yeah. All right, so let me tell you a story that I have heard an Asian lady say before, and it's a very beautiful story. She says that if you go to China out in the farmland, you can find yourself a beautiful girl out there. Because that girl, she's out there, she's picking strawberries with her hands. They don't have the culture of mirrors, and they don't have the culture of social media, and they don't have the culture of computers, and they don't have the behavior around them of girls being on Instagram. Those girls in China picking the strawberries don't know that they are beautiful. So if you really want to go out there and find a girl like that who doesn't even know that she is pretty, that doesn't know that she's beauty, that doesn't know that she is femininity, that doesn't know that she is pure, there is nothing more sweet or innocent or pure or kind. And that is a man's interpretation of beauty. Let me contrast that with the opposite. You Instagram thirst-trapping profiles. Just because you can make yourself look sexually attractive does not mean that you convey beauty. Beauty is something on the inside and the outside. And yes, I put this at the very last bullet point for a very specific reason. Beauty comes last. Even though men can fall in love through their eyes, and even though men came up to you being beautiful and attractive first, it don't matter for the long term at all. All the girls are beautiful. I guarantee you, you girls are not going up and talking to every single guy and spitting game on every guy and making notes in your journal about every single guy or following every single guy. But as a dude, I'm willing to smash her, smash her, smash her, smash her, smash her, smash her, just off the beauty. But will we keep her? Hell to the no. If she doesn't have the ability to be pure, if she isn't feminine, if she isn't respectful, if she isn't peaceful, if she doesn't have the ability to think in her mind, I'm prepared to serve him to the mission. Beauty is the last damn thing that I'm going to care about. And, you know, sex too. If you can only have sex and nothing else, you're kind of worthless. But beauty is something that you need to be very mindful of and you need to be very reserved with. Because you have to understand that when you were born with your feminine beauty, you need to be able to reserve that beauty for him. You need to be able to share that beauty with him. You need to be able to conserve your beauty for him. And that is why this is so important, man. Let me explain what that means, right? You know, I had a conversation with a girl that frustrated the living shit out of me. And she wanted to talk to me about how she was a sapiosexual intelligent woman. But her Instagram profile is nothing but her body. And when I say her body, I mean aggressively her body. Just straight up bikini pictures to showcase her tits and her ass and her feet and her hair all up and down her Instagram profile and nothing else. And the reason she's doing this on Instagram, the most recognizable social media / dating platform ever, is because she deep down knows that her value to men specifically is in her beauty. But why would I choose a girl that acts like that? Why would any man choose a girl that acts like that? Because she's giving her beauty to that guy, and 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 to that guy. But if she's giving all her beauty away to all these men, she's cheap. And if she's cheap, any man could have her. Why would I want her? But to the girl who wears sweatpants, to the girl who wears a hoodie, to the girl who wears a conservative dress, to the girl who understands that she could be beautiful without showcasing her skin, to the girl who takes her social media and uses social media to use it for her portrait style photos, for her face. You see, that girl is worth a lot. And that girl's worthy of a lot. And that girl has put herself in a position to earn a lot. And you know what the crazy part about all this is? Is like, because you haven't seen her tits and ass all over the internet, by the time that you guys do get intimate and you can see what she's all about, this surprising feature alone is enough to keep a lot of men interested for a long time.
Facts. Yeah, man. And when it comes down to beauty for you, for ladies out there, for women out there, simply be in shape. Just be in shape. If you don't have the best looking face, just being in shape, having a good figure is going to get you far with dealing with men. Because we all know men, we're visual creatures. We like what we see. So just be in shape. And that's going to get you so far. Because if you're a girl and you're fat, you're wasting your biggest fucking asset, which is your looks. That's what's going to get you in the door. So when I say it's your biggest asset, that's what we lead with as men. We first look at her, assess if she's beautiful enough or if she's good looking enough for us to be with her. Yes, sometimes there are other things that can overshadow that, like her feminine energy if she's feminine. But for men, we look at her look. So ladies, just be in shape. Go to the gym. Like, you already have value simply because you have a vagina, you have a pussy. So just stay in shape. Regardless how your face looks, you're going to be okay if you just stay in shape. Now, your beauty on the outside is what is going to get him. Your beauty on the inside is what's going to keep him. So, yes, being beautiful on the outside, it's not everything. But you can at least be around the guy that you want consistently if you are beautiful on the outside, if you just stay in shape, keep your body looking good. And then you're on the inside, that's what's going to keep him. So, ladies, you know this deep down. Your beauty is everything. Whether you want to fucking act like it's your career, your education, it's not. Because it's what men care about. You know, what's important for you ladies is what men care about. And what's important for men is what ladies care about. We know that women want strong men. That's why we get in the gym. We know women want a man who can take care of his family, make money. That's why we make as make as much money as possible. So ladies, what men care about is your looks, for you to get in the door, for you to actually like attract him, and then your beauty on the inside, whether you want to actually help him out, add value, not just extract value from him, extract his resource all day, every day. We want you to be able to come in and help us out. So your beauty on the inside is what's going to keep him. So focus on both, ladies, because they're both very important, and you know this deep down. So just put in the work. I know, ladies, you think you're just like, you think it's just you are enough simply because you have a pussy. That's not the reality. You know, that's just what it is. Hate to break it to you like that, but that's what the fuck it is. Focus on both, your beauty on the inside and the out, and you're gonna be fucking good. The world, ladies, if you focus on your beauty in the inside and the out, the world is fucking, you can have it your way. Don't make it hard on yourself. One thing that I notice is a lot of women out there, a lot of you guys, you make it hard on yourself. When life is supposed to be easy for you, it can be easy for you. It was meant to be easy for you. But with all this propaganda, the music, the internet, social media, the government telling you to behave a certain way, that's actually making your life a lot harder than what it actually needs to be or what it should be. So don't give yourself a burden when you don't have to, because life should really be easy. And it's okay, men. Our life is going to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. That's what makes us strong men. But women, your life is supposed to be easy. Don't make it hard on yourself.
Damn right, yo. Yo, big ups for my dog, you know what I'm saying? So check this out, right? Let me kind of paint what beauty is to you girls, right? What is beauty to men? How do men interpret it? Well, every man's going to interpret it a little bit of a different way. But let me give you a very extreme scenario, right? As we were talking about war earlier, when a man's battling chaos, and he's out in the trenches, in the fields, and certain doom is imminent, and bullets are launching his way, and he's watching his men in the battlefield duck just to survive and live. And for some reason, in this moment, his helmet comes off, and there's a picture of you in there. He has a reminder of what he's out there fighting for to begin with. It's a picture of you. Maybe you alone, maybe you and the family that you guys started. But that symbol of beauty, the reason that he's out there fighting for you, it's not going to be you turned around at LA Fitness pointing the camera in the mirror and it's an ass shot. It's not going to be you thirst trapping in a bikini. It's going to be the most fond memory he has of you. Either a picture shot in the moment or just a simple profile portrait picture of your face. And that beauty is enough for men to fight wars, for men to kill, for men to be savages, and for men to come back home to you. You see, you girls really are working very hard to do everything wrong. You were born with pretty much everything I said. You were born with the ability to be quiet, submissive, subservient, feminine, peaceful, and beautiful. You came out of the womb that way, and if you preserved all that, you would continue to have this. But you go out of your way to destroy yourselves. You go out of the way to open up your clothes. You go out of your way to do photo shoots to show that you're being degenerate. You go out of your way to give your purity to everyone else through pictures and give your body to everybody else through being devious in your actions. But which one of you girls is really going to listen to this and take it upon yourself to make it a mission to preserve your value and preserve your beauty and preserve your tenements for the future and the honor of your bloodline and your children? See, the girl that understands all of those things that I just said and can take all of that and preserve her beauty is the girl that gets everything in the end. Because the girl that gets everything in the end isn't the girl that becomes like a Chelsea Handler and has fame and uses her Instagram fame or her social media fame to have money and then use all that time to make makeup videos to make herself look beautiful to get a brand deal. So then by the time that she's 70 and has money, has nothing else but money. And she used that money to replace a man, and she used that money to replace kids, and maybe she has like a cat or dog or something. That woman isn't the woman that took the portrait shot and preserved her beauty and had the kids and had the grandchildren and had the great grandbabies, Because that woman, when she turns 70, is the symbol of a family. The symbol of many faces. The symbol of recipes that got passed down through the years. The symbol of stories that were told about what she fought to preserve so that you may exist to be here to hear a show like this now. That kind of woman is the kind of woman a man absolutely wants to give marriage to.
Oh yeah, good fucking shit. Well, that's 5. That's fucking 5 of them. So yeah, we hit you guys with value. Did you have a bonus?
There's a bonus round.
Bet. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's hit them with the bonus. Fuck
but
it.
Before we get into the bonus round, man, tell me what you think these ladies could do to hit this stuff, man. Before we go into number 6, to make sure that you ladies do get guaranteedly a relationship. What do you think about preserving value, preserving beauty, my boy?
Yeah, that's everything. I mean, purity is everything. Purity, fucking beauty, ladies. You know what the fuck how important beauty is. So yeah, just like I said, your beauty on the outside is gonna attract him. Your beauty on the inside is gonna keep him. So being a 10, if you're a fucking 10 with a fat ass and nice titties, good ass face, nice fucking everything, good everything, feet, all that shit. If you're a fucking 10, and you're not beautiful on the inside, you're just not gonna get anything long term. You're not gonna get a man to actually respect you. You might get some handbags, some fucking designer clothes, but long term, when you look up 40, 50 years old, when none of that shit means anything anymore, and you're alone and you're not with the guy that you might even not be alone. You might be with the guy that you just don't respect. When you're not with that guy, it's because you decided to just think that your outside looks were enough, and it wasn't fucking important for you to focus on inside, build your inside character, develop some fucking beauty inside. When you don't take any importance on that, then that's when you end up not living the life that you want. So having that beauty on the outside and the inside is gonna get you a more fulfilled life.
Big facts, man. Big man things. Yo, I appreciate that, Tez. Big claps to you, brother. So yeah, all right. Now me and Tez, we're gonna open up this round here on number 6, right? We're sharing this one for show, ladies. Okay, this all circles back to the very beginning of the episode. If you stayed with us this long, thank you for having an amazing attention span. We do value you, those of you with an attention span, because if you don't have one, I don't know how to help you, man. You cannot get everything in a 1-minute clip, 30-second clip, 15-second clip, 3-second clip with the hook. You can't just watch the hook these days and learn anything, you short attention span motherfuckers. You got to be able to consume the value for what it really is. Now, every king has his concubines, man. And we are not afraid to say it out here at 5-star. Number 6. If you are a girl, and I'm speaking to the ladies, that doesn't have any of these things, but you started working on these things, and you cannot get the man to take you seriously with number 1, purity, the only way to offset your lack of purity is to bring him quantity. He wants multiple women, and you can provide that to him. And that popular mating strategy is taking off out here in the great state of Florida and all over the U.S. and other places, as you will see as we showcase here on this show. Now, if you understand men, you as a girl probably chose a guy who cheated on you. And let me just say this real quick. I don't think men can cheat. That's a whole episode for a different time. I think that they can deceive, but they can't cheat. Let me explain what I mean by that. Ladies, your job in life, and you know this deep down is the truth because you feel embarrassed to talk about your body count. Don't lie to me. I'm not going to have a tolerance for that. You know deep down you're supposed to have sex with one man. You know you're supposed to be a virgin and give your body to one man and have kids with one man only. And for whatever reason, you failed to do that. And even if you were a virgin, the man is still going to go have sex with other girls. Because it is in his best interest to multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. It is his command to do this. He is to do this. Having multiple women as a man, for you might be called polygyny. For you might be called polyamory. Whatever the fuck that is. Fuck all that. That's societal brainwashing. It's just called being a man. That is the natural mating imperative of a man is to have multiple women. As I said from the beginning, if you go all the way back into the Bible, every king had his concubines. Stop trying to disprove King Solomon. Stop trying to not understand Lamech. Stop trying to dissuade how men actually are. Now, if you're a virgin woman and you understand that the man is going to have multiple women, you will have the highest priority to him as a virgin in his family setup. But you are a part of his family, and just like you as a woman might be able to love your mom, love your dad, love your cat, love your dog, love your brother, love your sister, a man can love Chelsea, Sarah, Adriana, Elizabeth. It could go on and on and on. It would be super easy for him to love Emily too, because men are the romantic gender. Men have the bigger hearts. Men can provision to many women. And now, let's say that you aren't a virgin and you are not pure, that you have had sex with more than one man. You've had sex more than 2 men, more than 3 men, more than 4 men, more than 5 men. And that's a basketball team, by the way. Now, how many's in a football team? 11?
On the football team, there's a lot of people on the football team. Yeah, there's on the field, there's probably 14 people on the field at once or some shit like that. But yeah, there's big ass football team.
If you have fucked 14 people, you fucked a 14. You fucked a football team. You fucked a football team, and you expect him to take you seriously? Ain't no way. Because what's gonna happen is now let's go into the she's had sex with 20 guys, 30 guys, 40 guys. The weekend in Cancun, 50 guys. And he has the ability to see, I have the ability to look at a girl and tell where her sexuality is just on her face. And when you ladies are dealing with experienced men the way that you want to deal with, he'll be able to do the same thing, kind of have an idea of what your body count is and how many men you've had sex with before and how many times you've split your soul, how many times you've split your spirit, how many times you've given up your purity to a man that you didn't take seriously because you don't have the self-respect to take yourself seriously. The only way to offset that, if you are coming into a dating-based community and a dating-based mindset, is to bring him more women. Now, there's a couple ways in which that works. It is for sex. 1, he needs to have sex with multiple women. Get used to that shit and get to it. This is what you do. This is you provide. This is who you are. This is a huge part of your purpose in mating strategy. If you guys didn't have vaginas, we would not talk to you. Shout out to Myron. Know what I'm saying? But the other part of this is that now, if you listen to the tenements that I was giving you about purity, about being willing to serve, about being peaceful, about building, when a man has a house like this, he can have his women building for him. And that alone can offset it enough to make him a king. And if you can bring kingship to your man, you women will have a man that is worth sharing. If you can take care of his business, his employees, his food, most of all his children, if you girls could come together and bring him multiple children, you find a man like that, there is a very high hope for you to go right back on the dating board and have that traditional life that you threw in the garbage, but come right back to it in order to move forward. Tez, my man, what do you say to this?
Yeah, that's you hit it. That's what it is. I'll leave my shit, my stuff for later as far as with multiple women and shit. But yeah, bro, that's how you fucking go about it, and that's what it is. Fuck. Yeah, that's it.
Now, do you think a woman will increase her chances of taking on a serious relationship if she provides or encourages or understands or supports that man having more girls, making that part easier on him? Because he said that from the beginning.
Yeah, if you're a girl and you're okay with the guy having multiple men, or yeah. Pause. Big pause. But yeah, if you're a girl and you're you're okay with your guy having multiple women, that's just gonna save you a fucking headache in the future because we're gonna do it anyways. So it's like you might as well accept it and not try to be fucking blind to reality because that's what it is. So yeah, it takes a lot of not even character. It just takes you to be honest. You need to be honest with yourself and know that that's what men are going to do. We're going to do it anyway. So the quicker you accept it and accept reality, the better off you're going to be.
And as we get further into this, you'll see that when a girl does stop your jealousy, because you are not the only one, you are not special, you are not different than any other woman, most of you are exactly the same. It is men that are different. It is men that create different worlds. It is men that provision so much into reality that they create a different kingdom in and of themselves. And you choose to come in on that ride and on his train and on his mission and get him to where he's going. You see, the girl that stops making it about herself like a fucking narcissist and starts making it about the man is able to see that that man needs more kids. And when the girl's able to see that, the mating strategy becomes so much better all of a sudden. Because then the girl has to now understand selflessness. So she now has the interpersonal development of like, well, maybe I, Emily, shouldn't make Sarah jealous. And maybe I, Emily, should think about Chris and Sarah. So I have to think about how Chris's day is going, and I have to think about how Sarah's day is going, so I have to put myself in more of a community-based position to be more about the whole and less about myself in a negative way, so I can provide value. And the more that you're able to provide value, the more you are of service. And the more that you are of service, the more you're going to get everything that is truly abundant and rewarding from God out of a relationship. That is the only way to do it. And then you start thinking about her children and how you can help her and massage her feet and take care of her head and make food for everybody. And then she is going to have no choice but to reward you for your behavior and take care of you. When I'm dating, you girls do each other's nails. There is no going out. We're saving money there. We make the food here. There is no wasting money on gourmet. We are the gourmet. We don't need 10 different cameramen. We could just take care of it with a little family production, because what you girls are doing in multiples is multiple of you are building his last name. And when there's more people helping that man, the quicker you're raising his kingdom. And if you truly wanted to help that man on his mission and get him to where he was going because you love him, you admire him, you respect him, you want to take care of him, you want to be subservient to him, you want him to succeed and him to prosper on his mission, the more woman power that you can bring into his life, the more that you will be raising him higher into his kingdomship.
Oh yeah, bro, you hit it spot on. You hit it spot on. So yeah, that's the bonus round. As we said, we're going to hit you guys with value. Just keep delivering and making this shit happen. That way we fucking build the platform, build the people, and stay in tune, bro. We're going to keep it coming. Keep this shit rolling. This shit doesn't stop. As you see, we out here. Let's fucking get it.
Yes, sir. Looks like it's time to close this thing on out. We'll do some bonus episodes, some bonus rounds. We had a lot that we talked about here today. But you guys are going to be getting so much value, so much content out of this show. The people that are messing with us now, we see you. I see you in Instagram. I see you in the text messages. You guys are doing nothing but showing love to me and Tez. You know what I'm saying? Got a chance to shout out Big Mo. Got a chance to shout out the Brotherhood. I'll be naming you guys individually when it is the right time. I'll be giving you your airtime, man. And for the ladies who are showing us love, we have a lot of people that are actually in fitness when it comes to the fitness part of beauty. You know, we got Maria. She's into fitness. We got Francie. She's into fitness. Those girls are going to be panelists on our show, man. And as we're closing this thing out here, me and Tez got to tell you about where to find us and how to interact with us, how you can get the best out of DJ Matchmaker, how you can get best out of Lifestyle Coach Tez. And that all starts with subscribing to us on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, follow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, wherever. We're everywhere. 5-star Livestream. You can follow my direct page at highdemand_Tez on all platforms. Well, on Instagram and TikTok. Follow me on there. You want to see some cold approaches, how I approach women. You want to see the lifestyle, just the fucking me taking pictures, just showing a little bit of the lifestyle. Give me a follow. Let's get it. We headed to the top together. Come hop in the fucking shit with us, because we going to the fucking top. Let's get it to the fucking moon.
Yes, sir, man. You're about to see a lot of clips on my Instagram, too. The last time that I did some Instagram videos was actually with Tez. And I told Tez, like, you know what, man? I'm not posting anything until it's only 5-star. So, you know, we've got some interviews with some ladies out there, but we've developed this into something that we really want it to be, which really helps people get into their virtues as a relationship. And when we have a society of people that are dating, and when we have a society of people that are helping other people get into dating, and when we have a society of people that are preaching good virtues onto each other, we have hit a huge part of our damn mission, bruv. So in order to help us achieve that, we need you to go to Linktree/5-star support. We need you to go ahead and donate to us. We need you to super chat into us. We need you to go ahead and follow us on everything. We need you to go ahead and comment. We need you to share this with everybody. And we need you to be a valuable member of the show. So as me and him co-host this out here for you guys, we need you to be in there delivering us all kinds of value. You know, if you have a statistic you want us to know, send it to us. If you want to email us at 5starlivestream@gmail.com. That's FIVESTAR livestream@gmail.com. If you have a venue that you want us to speak at, if you have a college that you want us to come to, if you have a class that you want us to teach, if you want to get involved with the community that we're building and you want to help us build onto that, please feel free and feel welcome to. If you want to say a prayer for us, we'll say a prayer for you, man. There's so much that's coming in this 5-star community that if you guys are here in the very beginning, just know we push you in that 5-star position to be winning.
Let's fucking get it. Let's go. We out. Peace.
We out. Closing it. Peace.